Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session today with Be Money Wiser. It's Tilda. Just introducing the topic for today, but our speaker for today is Caroline, and it's really been um, a great feeling, and I like the support that she has given us as an organization, both in volunteering for us and also being involved in most of our activities. And indeed, we encourage more and more people out there to join in and support where and as and how you see fit with the agenda that Be Money Wiser is trying to put out there. And of course, as you can see in the background, to meet our vision of creating a financially knowledgeable, disciplined, and prosperous society, so that in every day-to-day decision that we are making, we are a little bit wiser. So our topic for today is record keeping is key, and Caroline is going to give us a few insights on this. But I'm hoping that at the end of this discussion, you'll be able to also think about the gaps here and there that you may have as you plan out your life, as you plan out your finances, both at a personal level, in your organization, etc., for you to be able to make wiser decisions that benefit the posterity of your organization, your company, and all the various stakeholders that you're dealing with. So, as usual, we start with a small prayer. We thank God so much for today. We thank God for protecting all the Be Money Wiser members and the various people out there that are viewing this and supporting Be Money Wiser in one way or another. We pray that God protects you all in all your endeavors. Let Him give you the strength, the vigilance, the bravery, the ability to overcome all challenges, especially through this period with the COVID-19. May God strengthen all of you to be able to be wiser, to be more patient, and pull through this period so that you can improve your life, encourage your family to pull through too, and with that positivity, you can impact your organization and your nation at large. So we pray that our discussion today may be fruitful and improve something in our lives. Okay, amen. Yeah, so at this point, I would like to invite Caroline to give us a few insights on record keeping. Let's take notes. I hope some of you out there are keeping notes and keeping track of this. And at the end of our discussion, we shall be able to share in the comments any other insights that you may have. Other than that, if you do not have a Be Money Wiser piggy bank yet, why not? I'm hoping you can follow us on Facebook and order for a piggy bank. It will be delivered to you. Then also, if you would like us to empower you, your family, your organization, please contact us so that we can carry on this growth and this interaction. Otherwise, thank you so much. And yeah, let's be money wiser.
Hello everyone, you're welcome today to our session as I share my personal experience with you in line with how I managed to transform my life through keeping records. So every day we generate data. We generate useful data that needs to be recorded if we are to keep track of everything that we do. If we are to keep track of all the money that we make, we need to have a record written somewhere. These records are not basically written down, but are also part of the things that we get while we transact. A record is a documentation of an individual, business, or organizational transactions. Every day we transact. As you go to the shop to get a loaf of bread, as you go to a shop to get soap, as you sell your items, you're transacting. So unless these things are noted down, you cannot know whether you're on the right track or whether you're off track. What are these ways that enable us to keep our records, that enable us to know whether we are on the right track or not? Every day we generate records. that we are going to use to know whether we're on the right track or we are not on the right track. And these daily generations that we make, these daily transactions, they in turn form a monthly record for ourselves. They form monthly expenses and incomes that we need to take note of if we are to transform our lives financially. Personally, before I started keeping records, my life was something I would call a financial mess, because I did not know, for example, how many people owed me money and how many people I owed money. I did not know how many people owed me money or how many people I owe money. In many times I would meet someone and someone tells me, by the car, you owe me money. I would also meet them and they tell me that they have my money. But I did not know that I needed to note down every person who has my money or every person whose money I have. How did I change this all? With the knowledge I've acquired from Be Money Wiser, I've been able to adopt a few skills that have enabled me transform my life to a better lifestyle now. So I would like to share with you how record keeping has been important, has been helpful in transforming my life. The first thing that I noted when I adopted record keeping as a tool, it's one of the essential things that anyone needs to adopt if they are to transform their lives. Because if you're not keeping records of the things that you are doing, if you're not keeping records of the money that you're earning, if you're not keeping records of the money that you're lending out to people, if you're not keeping records even of the businesses that you do and how those businesses benefit you, it gets hard for you to know what you're doing. And if you are not noting down the things that you're doing and how much money you get from those things, how are you going to know whether you're earning profit or not? How are you going to know whether you're creating wealth or making losses? So record keeping is very essential as one of the first steps to enable you as an individual improve on your financial habits. Most of the things we are struggling with in life actually have to be streamlined by starting with record keeping. If you are to know how much money you're earning, and all the income sources you have, you must write them down. If you are to know how your savings are going on, you have to have a backup. You have to note them all down and know that maybe this month, how much am I saving? How much am I saving with this investment vehicle? How much am I saving in my savings account? How much am I saving with this circle? Once all those are noted down, you're able to understand where your money is going. You're able to understand how much money are you saving monthly? How much money are you saving every year? How much money are you saving maybe for the next 2 years? How much money will I have with the savings organization ABC? It's only when we note down all this that we are able to be on track, that we are able to be in charge of our finances. One of the other ways where I have been able to benefit from taking records is record keeping has enabled me to identify all the income sources that I have personally, and also maybe you people out there. Many times we only look at one income source. We only look at one income source as our source of income. But there are those other sources of income that are also crucial in our lives. There are things that give us money, but we do not give it attention. Sometimes we take them for granted. We don't look at them as income sources, and yet we benefit from them. So these are a few of the income sources that many of us have. The first one is salary. Now, with salary, most of us look at it as the main income source. In cases where someone does not earn a salary, we usually tend to think that we do not earn. Some of us want to have a job contract where you earn a salary. That's when we think that, oh, we are also working and we are also earning something. But there are other sources of income that might even give you more money than salary. But you can only identify those sources of income when you note down, when you have records. That's when you're able to know that even point ABC somewhere is an income source to me. Another income source could be profit. These are business proceeds. This is what we actually earn from our businesses. For example, if I'm trading, let's say peanut butter, I sell off and I earn something from it. That extra income that I get is also a source of income. But what happens if you do not recognize that business as a source of income? You usually use that money not in the right way. Why? Because you have not acknowledged it yourself as a source of income. So it's important that we note every source of income down and also value it. However little money you get from it, value it. The other income source could be commission, especially for some of us who are into sales. Yeah, you earn commission, or who are into projects, you could earn a commission from it. Another income source could be bonus from your organization. Another income source could be gifts from friends, relatives, and well-wishers. Another income source could be a tip. But what happens, usually, we do not look at those income sources as a source. We tend to put that money not into proper use because we think that, oh, that is not a main income source. It's money that I was just given. It is also an income source. When you capture all those monies at the end of the month, when you capture them, you're able to notice that probably you earn more than what you thought you earn. And you're able to notice that it is you yourself. For example, for my case, after putting all this into consideration, noting all my sources of income, I came to understand that it is me myself who is limiting myself from going forward. It is you yourself who is not putting into proper use that money that you're earning from all the income sources that we've seen here. Record keeping has also been very instrumental to me because it has been my source of checks and balances. It has greatly acted as a watchdog to me because I'm able to go back to my records and see how I'm performing as an individual. How am I performing as an individual? If I had a goal this month, like this September, I've set goals for September. I go back to my record book, to my notebook, and see what did I want to achieve this September. For example, okay, let me use an example of August. When August ends, you go back to your book and see, what did I do? What did I do in August? Was I moving to the right track? Am I achieving the goal I wanted to achieve? You're only able to notice this. You're only able to notice what you're doing and whether you're making profits or losses, whether you're creating losses or you're creating more wealth with the help of the records that you take. I've also been able to track most of my expenses. I've been able to track most of my expenses with the help of a Spend Wiser book, which I got from Be Money Wiser. This is how this book looks like. It's a Spend Wiser book. It has got where you note every day, you note your items and your costs. This is how the book looks like. You note your item. For example, every morning when I wake up and I'm going to work, my first item would be transport or airtime. Whatever you buy is what you note in that book during the day. At the end of the day, you've already captured data that is going to enable you at the end of that week, end of that month, you have captured a lot of data that is going to enable you reconcile how much have I spent, how much did I earn. Because as you go out to work, you spend money, but you also earn, depending on what you're doing that day. You're spending money on transport, you're spending money on airtime, you're spending money on food, but you are also earning. You're also earning from the things you are selling. You are also earning if you're getting a daily wage, even if you're getting a monthly salary, you're able to apportion and see that, okay, if I'm earning let's say 5 million, how much would be my earning in a day? And if today I have spent this amount of money, how much will I spend at the end of the month? So keeping records has been very crucial, has been very helpful in enabling me to understand what to spend my money on and what not to spend my money on. It's not usually only spending that should be noted, but what you are spending that money on. Are you spending your money on the right things? Is it worth you spending the money on that thing? And if you notice that you're not spending money on the right things, it is the record book that you've been using that's going to tame you and tell you, look here, you're spending a lot of money, let's say, on buying things that you shouldn't spend your money on. It's important to have where you note every expense. At the end of the day, it helps pull you back on track, pull you back to look at your goals, to look at your objectives, to look at what you really have to spend your money on. A few tools that have been helpful in me keeping my records have been receipts. For everything I buy, I ensure that I get a receipt. Whether it's a shop, whether it is a bank deposit, whether it is something I have delivered somewhere, I need to have a delivery note, especially for my personal products that I sell. So for everything that I've been doing, I have been noting records and also keeping printed receipts, keeping delivery notes. I want to share an experience of a scenario where a record I kept really helped me not to lose my money. It was last year in 2019 when I lent a friend money, not in the aspect of earning profit, but a friendly loan, like how you can help your friend with money that has to be given back to you. So I give a friend money and we document it down. We have an agreement, something that shows that I have given him money and he will give me back money after when he's able to give me back the money. So 3 months there's nothing coming through, and the person now seems not to be interested in giving back the money. The only thing that saved me was the agreement that we made. And even as I sought for help from the legal authorities, the first thing they asked for was, do you have anything documented somewhere that shows that you helped this individual with money? So when I gave in all that evidence, even those who wanted to help me were ready and able to help me because I had a starting point. So the reason that's why in many times we lose money because we do not keep record, because we do not have anything that shows that so and so on this day decided that so and so will give so and so money, and this money has to be given back maybe at this point, at this time, or as and when. So it's very important to note down anything where that two people agree, anything, whether two people, whether three people. When things are documented, they are very authentic compared to just to verbal agreements. When something is on paper, when something is recorded and written, it carries more weight. It carries more weight than things that I just said verbally. As we continue making records, it's important that even basic tools like budgets become our record. A budget is also a record in its own form, because once you write down how you're going to use your money, once you write down where you want your money to go, a budget basically shows you, how do I want to use my money? Where should I put my money this month? So once you have that recorded, it is very hard for you to divert. It is very hard for you to divert, or even when months pass by, you're able to go back to that budget and see, oh, by the way, what did I do with my money last month? How did I spend it? It is there. You know that ABCD went on this and this. So it's very important to make record keeping a habit, because at the end of the day, most of the things that we struggle with financially, most of the things that are bothering us, most of our financial problems start with that loophole in not keeping records. Once you do not keep records, you do not know where you're going, you do not know where you're coming from, because you do not know how much I have got, and you do not know how much you have spent. So it's very key to take note of every record, to take note of every money, to take note of every expense, to take note of every contract that an individual or a business or an organization makes with anyone. It's very important to have it recorded, to have it kept until you feel that you're comfortable with disposing it, or you could even keep it even for future use. Many of the records I keep are noted down in a notebook. Many of the receipts I keep, I have a file where I put all the receipts. Many people also could keep their receipts maybe in an envelope. If you feel that your receipts are not safe with you, you could find a safer place where you can put them, especially for documents like land agreements, for documents that you feel that if you kept near, maybe could tempt you. There are those documents that if you kept near, you can easily be tempted to get it and maybe sell it. You can have an advisor or a lawyer or a bank where you take your documents to keep until you feel that you're now comfortable getting it from them. So the daily records that we get, that the daily transactions that we make are actually the main source of the records that we want. It is those daily transactions, the daily movements to the shop you buy. When you go to the shop and buy something, a transaction has occurred because you have actually, the money that you had has reduced. When you go to sell out your let's say your products, a transaction has occurred because you have added some money onto your account, onto your life. So those transactions that we deal with daily, you sell, you buy, sell, buy, go to the bank, put money. If all those things are recorded, you have made record keeping a habit. And once you make record keeping a habit, most of the financial things that we deal with are going to be sorted because you're in track, you're in charge of everything that you're doing. I have another scenario where I lost money because I did not keep any record of the person I was dealing with. Nothing was written formally. There was nothing documented that had given that person money and also items. So two of us decide to start up a business, in this case a boutique. I shopped items. My other colleague had a shop already, but selling only cosmetics. So we wanted to expand it into a boutique. I shop clothes, I add jewelry, and I also put in a fridge and some drinks. So we put everything there, but we did not have anything. We did not have any memorandum of understanding, nothing to show that the business is for two people. The business caught up, and I kept buying things and putting in there. So time went on. After a period of 1 year, I started asking for some profits. I mean, the business has been running and things have been getting over. I didn't see anything coming in like profit. So when I started asking for profit, the other colleague kept saying, "Oh, I'll send through something. I'll send through something." Then one morning when I called her and I told her that I wanted to actually go and see the place, she tells me that we were robbed about 3 days ago. She says we were robbed and most of the things are not there. It's only the fridge that survived because it's a company fridge, and usually they don't steal company fridges because still they'll get it back. So when she mentioned all those things, I contacted a lawyer friend who advised me that there's really nothing that shows that you two were into that business together, because you do not have anything that shows that two parties agreed to run a business. So and so brought this much. The roles of each member, there's nothing that showed that so and so would be selling. But usually when a business is being started with agreements made, most of you outline everything, that me, I'll bring partner A will bring capital, partner B will be in charge of running the business. In case of any losses, this is how the two will handle the situation. So many times the losses that happen to us, the monies that we lose, everything originates from our carelessness, not keeping records, not studying the environment, not documenting most of the agreements. So it's very important before you commit to do anything, especially when you want to invest. It's important to have some of these things and contracts recorded before you invest your money in anything. Otherwise, you lose both the money and the friendship. So those are some of the things I've been able to share with you in as far as record keeping is concerned, and how I've been able to transform my life through keeping records. Thank you for listening. Thank you for following. Thank you for following. Thank you for listening. For more information, you can always reach out to us at Be Moneywiser.
So thank you so much, Carol, for the talk today. I know it was not easy because this is the first time that Carol has actually done a video live talk and chat and all this, but I'm so glad that she took the risk and she has been able to share with us a few pointers. So I'm hoping that we can keep the points that have been raised at the back of our minds, and going forward we shall be listening to the experiences of other Be Moneywiser members for us to be able to share experiences, learn from each other, and see the journey that we have taken as we are trying our best to understand money matters. So for the aspect of record keeping, I am hoping that we can now be a little bit wiser in our businesses, in our personal lives, in even at the country level. You know, if you're running an organization, a ministry, whatever entity, a hospital, whatever entity you're in, track your records. And of course, other regulators like URA would also tell you the same thing. Let us see your records so that we can advise you on your tax regime, or how you can handle issues to do with statutory expectations of your organization or your business. So try to keep records, try to track your money, and the change starts with you as an individual. It starts with you tracking your records, and that change in you will impact your organization, it will impact your family, it will impact all your stakeholders. And together we can build a financially knowledgeable, disciplined, and prosperous society. So thank you so much. I think that will be all for today. Have a blessed week. Don't forget to be wiser with all the decisions that you may be faced with when it comes to planning for your money this week. And if you would like to advise us, give us insights on one thing or another, let us know. If you'd like to join our Be Moneywiser WhatsApp group, so 90% of our members are on that WhatsApp group, and it's a platform for you to share some of this information and to understand a little bit more about the various topics or aspects that will be shared on the group. Post your number in the comments so that we can reach out to you and take you through the process. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let's be Moneywiser and enjoy the rest of the Sunday plus the week ahead of you. Please try to stay safe. Keep a good distance from each other. Try to wear your masks. Wear your masks and wash your hands as often as possible. Please be safe. We need you in 2021 and all these other years to come so that we can continue on the journey to be Moneywiser.